To understand the viral success of this summer, you have to look past the music and at the business maneuvers used to restructure her earnings. Before the hits, Carpenter had to execute a high-stakes exit from the contract that governed her early career. Currently, Carpenter is an omnipresent figure in pop culture, with her tracks and tour dates dominating the global charts. But for nearly a decade, she existed as a legacy Disney asset. She was generating billions of streams, yet her position within that specific ecosystem meant she was capturing very little of the wealth those streams produced. It is a reminder that in the music industry, visibility is not the same as equity. If you don't own the financial mechanics behind the brand, you don't actually own the success. Her early career began with a standard 5-album deal with Hollywood Records. It was a traditional structure that effectively tied up her early music and acting intellectual property for years. The center of this contract was cross-collateralization. Revenue from a successful album is siphoned away to pay off negative balances in other areas, like tour debt. Her royalties paid for previous sunk costs, trapping her personal profit margin at zero. Added to this was the cost of litigation. Between 2014 and 2017, she was sued by her former managers, Stan Rogo and Elliot Lurie, for commissions on earnings she hadn't yet recouped. These legal battles created a secondary financial drain on a career that was already burdened by label debt. By the end of her Disney tenure, Carpenter existed as a highly leveraged asset. The structure of the label system ensured her early success was primarily used to balance her own unrecouped costs. Carpenter's exit strategy began with a total reset. She allowed her Disney contract to expire and fired her original management, effectively clearing her executive circle. She then signed a new series of agreements with Island Records and Universal Music Publishing Group. This pivot allowed her to wall off her legacy debt. While the unrecouped costs stayed on Hollywood Records' books, her new revenue streams at Island Records were not cross-collateralized. For the first time, she began collecting royalties from the very first dollar earned. Moving to a new label was a calculated financial maneuver, enabling her to reset her market valuation and treat her future work as a clean asset. Carpenter now operates less like a singer and more like a parent holding company, leveraging specific brand pillars to maximize her return on investment. Her 2024 Skims campaign acted as a valuation multiplier. By aligning with a high-growth fashion brand months before her music breakthrough, she established her market relevance beyond the charts. That campaign generated $5.5 million in media impact value, a metric used to track the monetary worth of media mentions and social engagement. It proved her brand had the leverage to drive massive commercial interest. Her creative pillars, like romance, infusions of cheeky humor, and old Hollywood aesthetics, are treated as brand synergies. Collaborations with figures like Jenna Ortega or Barry Keoghan are used to build viral brand equity that stays within her control. These pillars sustain a range of high-margin ventures, from a $100 million fragrance line with Scent Beauty to partnerships with Dunkin' and Erewhon. These products are not simple endorsements. They function as subsidiaries of the Sabrina Carpenter intellectual property portfolio. This strategy has yielded clear financial results. In the 4 years since restructuring her contracts, Carpenter has reached an estimated net worth of $16 million. She has achieved this by controlling her own distribution and protecting her income through a multi-vertical brand network. In the traditional pop model, the artist provides the labor while the executives own the equity. Carpenter has inverted that model. Her career demonstrates the transition from a managed asset to a managing entity, one that owns its own supply chain and dictates its own market value. If you found this breakdown of the industry's inner workings valuable, like this video and subscribe to the Viral Scope. Comment below and tell us which celebrity empire we should audit next.